Yo, what's up everybody? How y'all doing? And welcome to a brand new episode of Ballin' with Jerry. So now, I got something different for this episode. Now, two episodes ago, I did a watch collection episode. That was my watch collection. This time, on this episode, I'll be showing off to you guys my fragrance collection. Or say luxury fragrance collection. Oh yeah, I know some of y'all might be asking, what's with the beanie? What's with the red and white beanie? The answer to that question is, there's almost Christmas. We're in December right now. And Christmas is a few days away. And I'm assuming a lot of you are excited for that. And I also like to say Merry Christmas. And to those of you that don't celebrate Christmas, Happy Holidays. Happy Holidays. Right in front of me I have my fragrance collection. Alright, so here it is. This is my entire fragrance collection. Now I know it may not be a large fragrance collection, but 5 fragrances, and I use them quite a bit. And I'm going to be telling you everything I have here. Now I'm going to be telling you about these fragrances, and I'm going to be telling you which one I use is my favorites, which one I use the most, stuff like that. And I'll also be telling you a little bit more stuff about my fragrance collection down the line. Yeah, so before we go any further on with the episode, let's continue on with the intro. Alright, so now it's time for me to show you my fragrances. All of them unboxed. But first of all, this is my cheapest fragrance. This is called Lynx Africa Body Spray. This is my very, very cheapest fragrance. This costed me about like $7 or $10, I think. Now here it is. Now this right here is Playboy. So Playboy from New York. I'm going to unbox it. This is what the bottle looks like. Playboy New York. Now this right here is called a Natio for men. This is a men's fragrance. It's called Natio. It's an Australian brand. That's all I know about this fragrance. And also my friend got this for me for Christmas. So shout out to whoever bought this for me for Christmas. Really appreciate it, and it smells nice. And this right here is called the Mercedes-Benz Club. This is called the Mercedes-Benz Club, and it's Mercedes-Benz fragrance that they have. And I bought this fragrance back in 2019. So these fragrances right here so far, I got them in 2019. Same deal with this one. This is what the bottle looks like. This is very, very, very beautiful fragrance. It smells nice and it smells beautiful to me. And I gotta say, this is one of the more pricey fragrances. Because it's from Mercedes-Benz Club, I expect it to be pricier. Alright, now this is called the Michael Jordan Legend fragrance. So Michael Jordan Legend fragrance. Now this is one of my favorite colognes that I wear almost every day now. And I actually love this fragrance, and I bought this for myself in 2019. Last year, back in 2019. Alright, so just in case y'all didn't see clearly from where you're seeing, I'll give you guys a closer look at each and every one of my fragrances. Alright, so here is a closer look of all my fragrances, alright? So now, I'm going to start off with this Lynx fragrance right here. So this Lynx fragrance right here is called a Lynx Africa Body Spray. Now, basically this is my cheapest fragrance, so I don't really use it that often. So all I gotta do is this. I just spray it. That's how it goes. So I haven't used this fragrance in a while now because I got all these other fragrances I can use that are much nicer and much more refined. But I guess I'll be most likely using it. I'll most likely use this fragrance, this cologne, in the gym when I hit the gym. So yeah, that's basically all I gotta say about this next fragrance right here. And like I said before, this is my cheapest fragrance. So I bought it for anywhere between $7 and $10. Somewhere in between $7 and $10. So not very, not that expensive. It's quite affordable. All right, so now, moving on to the next fragrance I want to talk about. I'm going to randomly select, okay. Right here, this is called a Playboy fragrance. So Playboy New York fragrance right here. As you can probably see, it says New York on it. That's very cool. Now, this fragrance right here is Playboy fragrance. So you've heard of Hugh Hefner. He is the guy that created the company, Playboy. So basically, it's a spray-on fragrance. Now, the disadvantage to this is that as a viewer, you can see this, but you can't really smell the fragrances. You gotta have to buy them out yourself. So, now I really love this Playboy fragrance. It smells beautiful. This fragrance right here, this cologne, smells very beautiful to me. So that's why I use it quite often. And I'm more likely to use a fragrance like this on special occasions, or basically when I'm just going out and doing some stuff. Yeah, and I bought this fragrance for like, I bought this fragrance for cheap, actually. I bought this fragrance for about $10. $10. That's how much I bought this fragrance for. But the retail price of this fragrance is way more expensive. If you look online, the retail price is gonna be more expensive than $10. So I'm lucky to have found a place to buy this for quite cheap. All right, so moving on to the next fragrance. Let's see. All right, so this Natio fragrance, this fragrance is called a Natio. So this right here, it's called Natio for men because it's a men's fragrance. And I use this fragrance not that often, so but that doesn't mean it's a nice fragrance. I just don't use it very often compared to all the other fragrances that I have right here. And I'll say this is a pretty nice fragrance, so I'm gonna spray it on myself. The fragrance smells very nice. And like I said before, someone bought it for me for Christmas, so shout out to whoever who bought this for Christmas. If you're watching this video right now, shout out to you. And it was a Christmas present from last year, 2019. So I'm thankful to have gotten this fragrance. Okay, now moving on to, so I'm gonna pick the elephant in the room. So who do you think the elephant in this room is? So this is the elephant in the room. I can tell this is the elephant in the room because of how this bottle is designed. So like I said before, this is a Mercedes-Benz fragrance, and this is the most expensive cologne that I have, and it usually looks shinier in person, in my opinion. I can see a reflection of myself through this fragrance, and I can tell it's way shinier in person than you can see on here. And I'm gonna do a few sprays with this fragrance. Now, this fragrance was a fragrance that I used the most. This fragrance right here. I used this fragrance the most, and because I love it so much. I love this fragrance so much. I love Mercedes-Benz, and I love their fragrances. They're it smells very, very beautiful. And also, the smell aside, I love the bottle, how it's designed. And as you can see right here, as you may or may not see, it says Mercedes-Benz Club. Mercedes-Benz Club. Yeah, maybe I'll show you, maybe I'll give you guys an even closer look at them. So yeah, you can see what I mean. So by far I use this fragrance the very most, and it's almost empty. So I buy another one or get a replacement. And add more fragrances to my collection to make it more grand. So moving on to the next fragrance that I have in my fragrance collection, which is the Michael Jordan Legend fragrance. So this fragrance right here is one of my favorite fragrances that I have in my whole collection. So I really love this fragrance, and this fragrance smells very, very beautiful. Very nice on me. I love it the most, and I bought this for myself last year in 2019, and I did not regret. After I smelt how this, I'm gonna spray it on me right now. Yeah, I really love this fragrance. I really love the vibe of the cologne. I really love this cologne. This is one of my favorite colognes. If you don't have Michael Jordan cologne, you gotta go out and get one. Cause this fragrance right here smells great. And by the way, this isn't any endorsement. I ain't trying to endorse any one of these guys right here. So it's just my personal opinion, just making this episode for your entertainment. And what I found cool about this is, and it has his signature on it. As you may or may not see, I'll give you guys a closer look so you can see what I mean. So far, these are all the fragrances that I have. So if I was gonna rank 1 to 5, which fragrances are my favorite? One, my favorite, and a 5, my least favorite. I'm gonna go with the number 1, the Mercedes-Benz fragrance, because I use this fragrance the most out of all these fragrances that I have here. Number 2 would have to be, let me just smell this Playboy fragrance again. I sprayed it in my face. All right, so number 2 would have to be the Michael Jordan fragrance, Michael Jordan Legend fragrance. So notice how it says Legend right here on the package. Before I bought this fragrance, the moment where it says Legend on the box right here, that really resonated with me. So that's the reason why I bought this fragrance, because I am a legend. I am living legend. And I don't care what you people say about me. I don't care what you haters say about me, but I am a legend. Whether you like it or not, I am a legend. So number 2 would have to be this fragrance. All right, so down to number 3. So number 2 is my second. So Playboy fragrance. I'm sorry, the Michael Jordan fragrance is my second favorite. Mercedes-Benz fragrance is my favorite. And down to number 3, which is the Playboy fragrance from New York. And before I bought this fragrance, when it says New York on the box, that resonated with me because I love New York, and New York's my favorite city in America. And the reason why I ranked this number 3, because it is a very beautiful fragrance, but the Michael Jordan fragrance trumps this fragrance right here, like 100 times. In my personal opinion. If you try it out, it may be different for you, but in my personal opinion, this Legend fragrance from Michael Jordan trumps this fragrance. So basically, I like the Michael Jordan fragrance better than this fragrance, right? So, and also, fun fact about me is that I am a Michael Jordan fan. I like Michael Jordan. If you're gonna ask who I like better, LeBron James or Michael Jordan, I'll go with Michael Jordan, 100%. And I don't care whether you want to debate with me or not, or I don't care what you say about these two players, but I prefer Michael Jordan. So number 4 would have to be, it's kind of tough, but number 4 would have to be this fragrance. I'm not saying I don't like it, just saying that it smells nice. Just that I haven't used this fragrance much, so I can't really make, just haven't used it a lot. So I rank this number 4, but I still like this fragrance from Natio. It's a very nice fragrance, and I recommend that you guys should get it. So down to number 5, my least fragrance is, so Lynx Africa, and so the reason why it's my least favorite fragrance is that this fragrance isn't that versatile to me. It isn't very versatile as opposed to all these fragrances. You wear these fragrances anywhere you go, no matter where you go, except that it's not as refined as the rest of my fragrances. So that's the reason why it's my least favorite. Not that I don't like it. I definitely do like Lynx Africa. It smells great. But if you spray it on too much, it doesn't last as long. That's another thing. That's another reason why this fragrance is my least favorite fragrance, Lynx Africa. Out of my 5 fragrances in my whole collection, is because when I spray this thing on, it doesn't last very long. As opposed to the rest of these fragrances right here in my collection, they last for hours. They last for hours. All right, so now I'm gonna show you a closer look, an even closer look at all my fragrances. All right, so here is a closer look, an even closer look at all my fragrances right here. All right, so let's start with this one. So we're gonna zoom into the details, to the subtle details right here. So as you can see right here, it says Playboy. I like that. So it says New York. I like that as well. Looks pretty cool. And it has a bunny rabbit logo on it as well with a bow tie. Very fancy, very refined. And that's a bunny rabbit on the lid right here. Even closer look at it. All right, so moving on to this one right here. So Lynx Africa. It's a daily fragrance. I like the colors, which is one thing I like about this fragrance. So green and red. I love that color combination. Not much to see, not very refined as compared to other fragrance. This is a tin can. So yeah, that's basically what I gotta say about that fragrance. So moving on to the Mercedes-Benz fragrance, we're taking an even closer look at it. As you can see, it's I can see my reflection. You can see the reflection through it. If I clean this up a little bit better, you will see it even better. There's a Mercedes-Benz store on it. Let's look at sideways. Looks very cool. I like the design with the bottle. Looks very cool. Okay, I just noticed this. So right here it says made in France. Made in France. I did not know this because Mercedes-Benz is a German brand. And this is made in France. Very interesting. Very interesting. Oh, and also, right here, that's where you spray it. Yeah. And also, like I showed you before, Mercedes-Benz Club. Mercedes-Benz Club. All right, so, and also this is the box that it came with when I bought it. So I open this. It's wrapped around in this bag right here for more comfort. And to me, that is luxury. That's luxury. That's the reason why this fragrance right here It's my favorite out of my entire collection. Okay, let's move on to the next fragrance. All right, so Natio for men. So maximum you do, yeah, I'm not gonna pronounce that. Okay. All right, so nothing much to see here. Let's open it. Let's get a spray on it, and all right, cool. Nothing much to see here on this one. All right, let's move on to the Michael Jordan fragrance. As you can see, this is Michael Jordan. So love the bottle. See that? Michael Jordan. And also I wanted to show you this. See that right there? That's his signature. That's his signature right here. Very cool. That's a subtle detail. Okay, so yikes. This balls are pretty tough, so I'm gonna spray it again. All right, so that is pretty much it. That's pretty much a close-up look of my fragrances. That's all I wanted to show you guys from here. Yeah. So basically that leads us to the end of this episode of Ballin' with Jerry. So if you have seen this episode from the start to finish, I'd like to thank you very much for watching this episode from the start to finish. And I really hope you people enjoyed this episode of Ballin' with Jerry, where I just showed off my fragrance collection, my entire fragrance collection. And thanks a lot for watching this episode, and be sure to subscribe and stay tuned for more episodes of Ballin' with Jerry by hitting the bell notification button so that you'll be notified of future episodes of Ballin' with Jerry, and also have a TikTok, so be sure to follow me on there. I'll leave like the details to that in the description and all my social medias. Thanks a lot for watching this episode once again. And Merry Christmas. Merry Christmas 2020. I know 2020 has been a weird year for a lot of us, weird, rough year for a lot of us, especially myself. And but the most important thing is that we make something positive out of a year like this. That's the most important thing. Making something positive out of a year like 2020 is. So, Merry Christmas and Happy New Year. Thanks a lot for watching this episode. And you know what I'm gonna say next. Stay tuned for more episodes of Ballin' with Jerry.